going live now.
Over being
everybody should see it now.
Yes. Okay, it definitely says live on Facebook in the corner.
Yes, but I don't know if it's live. Is it?
Let's.
Oh, I see it.
You see yourself?
I see it.
Okay. Well,
it says live, so I think we're live.
We're live.
Yes, we are.
Okay, hey y'all, again, hello again. Just had a little technical error. So we're gonna start over. You know who we are. We come every Thursday at the same time. Our sister Cherie had to do something else, and it's okay. She's gonna join us in maybe on the chat. So we want to say hello. Maggie, say hello again to the folks.
Hi, everybody.
Tanya, say hello again to the people.
What's up?
And we're so grateful to have our girl from childhood, honey, Kendal. So hello, say hello, Kendal, to the world.
Hi, everyone. Hi, I'm so happy to be here. I love you guys. I'm a huge fan. Oh my God, I'm fan.
Right. So, we love her. So then listen, first of all, let me just say this. Thank you so much, Ernie, for coming on last week. We love you. It was so great. We got the gems, honey, and I've been doing some things. I'm gonna tell y'all about that at the end of the show. But yes, so like with everyone else, we want to say, tell us your story, Kendal. We want to know.
It's so many levels though. So I'll give you like the Cliff Notes version. I met you guys in school. So happy to be here. So super stalker, super fan. However, we'll talk about that later. I moved out of my mom's house when I was 17. I had my daughter at 18. I got married at 18.
Wow.
Everyone knows I feel like my first two husbands. I've been married 3 times. I have a total of 6 children and a dog.
Okay.
Yes, and most recently I have moved to New Jersey, and so enjoying that life with the new hubs. So, but whatever you want to dig into, I'm open because I'm really excited to share what nuggets I've learned throughout the course of all my mistakes that have made me who I am today. I love them. I embrace them as part of the journey.
I got a nugget. I do have a question, Marquita.
Oh, honey, we got a lot of them.
Right. Okay, so coming out the gate, I know you said you were married 3 times.
All of the time.
What did you do?
Three's a charm.
To get back out there in the dating game again? And did your perception on marriage change? Did you say, okay, I won't do this anymore, going into dating before you get married? I'm talking about as you were meeting people after you were divorced, what was your outlook on marriage? Could you say okay, in my first marriage, I was really thought marriage was like this. So I was dating like this. Now in your third marriage, before you got married to your husband, was your mindset different? What is one of the biggest things? Seriously though, because like you said, you've been through some things, you've been through some experiences. What is the one thing you could say, as far as just men and getting to know them and dating them, before marrying them, what was your mindset?
Dating in Atlanta.
Right.
Yeah.
That is such a great question. So as you guys know, first marriage, I was married to Jeff, and we were high school sweethearts or whatnot. So I chucked that up to really, I was pregnant. We were in the cathedral at the time, and it just seemed like this is what we're supposed to do. It wasn't no more than that. Loved them. I was moving away. I had to, to go to school, and I had to put that to the side and just focus on well, I guess this is my life. I went through a really big depression after that. I don't think people really knew that. It was hard because I love school. I was the dweeb that asked Mrs. Crowley for more homework. So people are like, could you shut the hell up? And I'm like, but I got 110 on my test, but I really want extra credit, So for me, school was a sport, and we just had a lot of fun together. So that was really, really hard for me in my senior year to go through that. But just think about the growth that you ladies have experienced. Not only if you look back from let's just say 5 years ago. 5 years ago was what, 2017?
2015.
2015? Oh no, 2016. 2021 now. But we're so much more different now. If you look back when Facebook shows you the flashbacks of the clothes and stuff that we were wearing, you know, or the music that we were listening to.
You
like
know,
everybody remember like the
yes.
chicken head and all that stuff. Like we not those people no more. So it's a natural growth if you accept it. Relationship wise, I think from Jeff, I was already too young. And I experienced a lot of trauma. I had delusions of what I thought marriage should be. We were already oil and water from the sense that of the way we communicated. What I learned from that relationship was that my family was really, his family was more passive aggressive in the way that they communicate, like kind of slick, you know, types of, and we were more like aggressive. So you put those two communicating styles together, it's a recipe for what? Disaster. It's not going to work. And so and we were just too young. When I look at it now, I was mad for a really long time. I really just started to heal to get to where I am right now regarding that first relationship, because I realized that everything I said about him, someone could say the same thing about me. Like real talk. If I say that he's manipulative and he's that, somebody in my life I can look back and think, well, somebody at some point in my life could perceive that I was manipulating them. Not necessarily that was my intention. Their perception makes it real. And so I needed to start to just heal and grow Jeremiah. I love me some Jeremiah.
Hello, we all do. Shout out Jeremiah.
Nobody talk to me about my Jeremiah. Okay. And so we have been through some things, you know, but he helped me raise those girls, and he, you know, he gave me a beautiful son. I'm forever grateful for that. And we went through our shit too. But man, I won't let that shit that we went through define the entire 13-year span that we were together. I have a healthy respect for him and love because I've known him since I was 13. So I learned that if I didn't,
shout out Cathedral. That's how we
all. This is bringing all the husbands. Okay, I would not recommend it. And then for me to get to this situation, as far as the dating, I realized that the phase that I was in, I had to talk to my therapist after me and Jeremiah broke up, because I had a therapist. Like,
shout out to therapy.
Let's talk about that. Therapy and counseling.
Let me tell you, because the African American community put a stigma on that real quick. I'm like, listen, I'm gonna be healthy because we didn't experience enough trauma, and it's gone down generations to our DNA. So I'm fix this shit. So for relationships, yes, for the relationships and everything. So long story short, my therapist, I was telling her about this guy, and I would go out on a couple of dates. And I'm like, oh, I think he might be the one. And she's like, yo. Yo, dog, that's the guy.
Hold on. You know why you like that? Side note, because you're a Libra. That's what we do. But anyway,
I'm like, I real talk, like right 5 minutes after, I'm like, yo,
I think it's it.
I'm like, I really feel like I love him though. We connected. We do. We vibing. And my therapist like, I need you to calm down. Like, it's okay for you to just date. Like, so then she made it, she spent it she turned it around for me and made it a social experiment, which changed the game for me. She said, as you're dating, you need to be building a what you don't want list when you are out with people, and the things that you admire list. You haven't experienced enough, because the two previous marriages that I had come from the same circle. So I had not experienced enough to realize what was out there, the grand scheme of like how big the world really was. And thank you so much. God rest her soul. Because she really changed my perspective.
I'm about to say, where she at? We need, you know what I'm saying? You can always pay a number for the therapist, but you said she gone. So.
Man, she died unexpected. I needed therapy. I need a therapist to get over my therapist, Jesus. So it was a lot. And long story short, when she did that, it switched me, Tanya. So I started dating like a nigga. I was just like, I'm just out.
Like a dude.
I'm just out. And I'm telling you, like, dudes was falling when you take off the fact that, like, no, I'm not trying to get wifed up. I'm just out here having a good time. I'm not looking for nothing. No, this pee that I got is not just, you know, for the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm very selective with it. And just let them know, like, yeah, I want to have a good time. If I do want to do it, I'm grown and I can do that. But I also I have children, so I conduct myself in a way that I would be okay with them conducting themselves.
Right.
So it was a lot that went into it, just to let you know, Tanya, like that shifted my whole perspective on dating and led me to where I am right now. I had a whole list that was like, that I had, you know, came up with of the non-negotiables and whatnot. And I'm sure we'll get into that later. And I learned that my list was a little bit too stringent. The guys that I was finding that met that criteria were douchebags. They're fuckboys. They're like, you know, because everybody was looking for them. Everybody wanted that dude
Yep.
that checked off all those boxes, and especially in Atlanta. So I had to set my sights elsewhere and just broaden my perspective and also step my value up. It was so much that went into it. It was like, I need to be the woman. If I'm a dude, I need to be someone that's bringing value to the relationship. Like, I don't ever want no dude like, Vicky, you just told me you got the house. Like, that's something that a dude just can't roll up and take away from you. I never want a dude to just be like, well, if you don't like it, you can get the hell out or you can bounce or whatever. No, this ain't what that is. I come, and not with this strong Black woman, oh, I don't need a man. I don't really need one. I want one.
Exactly.
I welcome you in to partner with me, and I do want to be submissive, but it's a trust situation that has to happen with that, and that takes time.
Kendal, can I ask you a question before you, because you have clearly used
hit it.
And now you're
giving a lot, honey.
I'm sorry.
You said,
no, this is welcome to the wedding game. Go ahead.
Right. When you said, I want to bring value.
That's right.
We hit on that last week. What does value mean to you? When you say, I wanted to bring value, what are those things, or what are those self-characteristics? What does that mean to you?
You know what? That's, to me, I feel like that's all relative. For me personally, value, what's important to me is health, lifestyle. I knew that I wanted a guy that was, I wanted him to have kids because I wanted to see how he was with his kids. That would be reflective of how he gonna be with my kids. You know what I'm saying? And it's very important for me. I think the family dynamic, his friends, how he is with his friends, that's important to me, relationships. How I am, like, on the inside, the loyalty that I provide, like, that my friends are family. Like, everybody know, like, when they roll up on me, what you need, what you got, like, what we doing, like, I feel like that's important to me, having that loyalty, being educated and informed. Like, if I'm going to be dating somebody who, first, I did not want, and I remember a guy that I dated, I was a business owner, and once you're a business owner, you're always a business owner. So for several years, I was a business owner. So when I went to start dating, I dated a guy, and somehow he came across the fact that one of my non-negotiables was that I didn't want to date an employee. I wanted to date either another business owner or a high-level executive. And he got really offended by that because he was an employee, but he was a truck driver. So he's like contractor, whatever. But I was just like, whoa, slow your roll, because you need to be happy that you got here. Like, you here. Like, because I'm just saying, I'm like, and if you don't have that swag about yourself like that, get it. Because I'm just like, yo, dude, a lot of people vying for where you at. So I mean, like, don't be coming at me. Like, you can leave, So that was one thing. But the reason that was of value to me is because of the conversations that you're able to have with someone who has had more responsibility, someone who has their own. I don't want to talk to somebody who's coming home talking about what happened at the water cooler. I was having conversations with business owners, and it's no shade, but that was of value to me. The level.
That's what you wanted. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right. And the circle that they were able to bring me around. I knew that I could build their life, and the fact that I'm great at building a home life and rearing children and just overall knowledgeable and personable, but I wanted them to be able to mentor me in a respect too. Like, I can't be the only one. You need to be able to pour into my life. And so it's not unequally yoked or unequally balanced, because if it is, somebody gonna be resentful. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Right.
Show down.
Resentment.
And you gotta stay looking good. Whatever your version is of looking good, I was always look like a snack. Ain't nobody else. This bitch fell off. That's just not. And we know we done all said it about somebody. Like, oh, have you seen such a girl? We know we are. And I said, listen, I'm about to keep it. I know, if you roll up on me, maybe in a grocery store or something, I ain't gonna have this big face. Okay? But when I'm trying to put on, we gonna put on. Like, you know how we do.
Hello.
We gonna put on. And so I gotta make sure the dude that you want, the guy that's on your list, is he gonna want you? Is he gonna want to have those conversations with you? Like, what conversations y'all having? And envision that. See what y'all talking about at night. What's your pillow talk like? I would recommend that you guys be with somebody that's been married before. Those be the best ones, to be honest.
That's what everybody keeps saying.
We talked about that.
We talked about that last week. Everybody keeps saying that.
We did talk about that. We did talk about that.
That it's you still got to monitor the men, because it depends on if they learned from the other relationship they were in.
Right.
But it's all different things. So I don't want to go off on a tangent, but there you go.
Okay, so so let's settle down and get into your third marriage, okay? That you're currently in. Let's peek into that one. Now, how did that marriage
begin?
Okay, so we had the backstory. How did we get into this marriage? This beautiful matrimony.
Oh, first of all, that is my baby. Okay. That's my baby. Oddly enough,
is he in the background listening?
No, he's not at all. He's downstairs or something. I don't know. But I would not be surprised if he was at the door though, because he's kind
of but go ahead, because I need to too, honey. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
But so I met him at a convention, and apparently we were friends on Facebook. I did not know. I just saw that I was lost. And you know,
you just randomly accepting people you don't know?
Yeah, absolutely.
But that was because back in the day with Facebook,
back in the day, we'd be like friends of friends.
If you had one friend in common, it was like, oh, okay, it didn't matter.
Yeah, so a lot of the people in the company are together. So if I see I got like 300 mutual friends with you, either I know you from Cathedral, or I know you from the company. Those are the two things that I have. Yep. That is why I accepted him.
Okay, gotcha.
I think he may say I friend requested him. I don't feel like that's what happened. But I saw him at the convention. I did not know who he was, but I was lost and I needed direction. And I just saw, you know, if you lock eyes with somebody across the room, he looked friendly. So I was like, oh, I can ask him for directions. Mm-hmm. And oddly enough, I was like trying to go to the African American leadership thing. He was like, follow the sea of black people. I was like, and he was like, I think I know you. And I'm like, I don't know you. He's like, I think we're friends on Facebook. I was like, oh, I have so many friends. So
right, okay.
What is it? You know, so it like he was kind of like spitting because he did recognize me from Facebook, but nothing happened from that, to be honest. He, you know, slid in my DM like on some business stuff, and that was it. But I kid you not,
you thought it was the business stuff. He slid up in there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Maggie. He was just trying to make a connection, make it stand out. He would say happy birthday to me. Mark Zuckerberg algorithms are on lock, okay, are amazing, because he would just come up like in my feed, and then I would start to Facebook stalk him. And so one night while I was like having a glass of wine, I just slid in his DM and I was like, yo, like I you know, I had a crush on you. Like I think I had a crush on you or something like that. And he was like, girl, them bubbles was like, you know, like he thought I was like, oh, Shotty was waiting right next to his keyboard, like waiting for that. I was like,
he might have been, yeah.
Yeah, he was ready, and he responded. He's like, had, you know, question mark, like, you don't still have it? And I was like, I mean,
oh wow.
Yeah, so he started spinning game like a little early, and at that time, I was talking to someone that I had met on Bumble, and the guy was
hold on for the people. Bumble is a dating site where the women have to speak first, and you got 24 hours to respond, men. That's what it is. Go ahead.
Yes, and it is not a hookup site like Tinder. I mean, I guess it can be, but Tinder is
right. Even though people do find love on Tinder, again.
I did find love on Tinder before, and then it's a long story. But anyway, like we can talk about that later.
We was dating, girl. You was dating. That comes with dating
in these streets. So anyway, long story short, I told him once I started like talking to the other guy, I love Lalo. Like we connected. You ever vibe so well on the phone with somebody like, yo, like this feels good. But I didn't want to do the long distance thing. That's literally the only reason why the other guy went out, is that I don't want to do long distance. And so I respectively said, you know, yo, I'm about to start really, you know, taking a little bit seriously with this guy. So I'm gonna have to fall back with all due respect. I think he respected.
Oh, so you told him. Good. Okay.
I told him. And I wouldn't just ghost him. I respected him too much to do that to him. Mm-hmm. And I love the fact that he respected me and that relationship. And he just kind of like, oh, okay, bet. Like, and he just like, he didn't try to shoot his shot at him. He's like, okay, bet. He like played his part. I know she'll be back. That was like literally like his attitude.
Wow.
That swag is like hella respectable though.
That's confidence. It
really is. That's so sexy.
It is, guys. Confidence is sexy. Okay.
It's sexy.
Be bold.
Yeah. I keep telling people it's the year to be bold. Okay.
Not ego.
It's the year to be bold, baby.
Not ego.
Kendal.
Yes, dear.
Right. When you say confidence is attractive in a male, I equate that to what you just said of women can't be pressed about a man. So women become attractive when you also show that confidence that you're not trying to strangle and be all about the guy, but you're out living your life, dating and enjoying yourself and living in the moment. And I think that it's the same thing. And I keep like, not pressed.
Not pressed.
You do say it a lot now, man.
I have to respectfully disagree with Arneve because her way last week, because I listened to the interview, she said that she doesn't think it's right to date multiple people at the same time. I said, girl.
Well, we already know.
She said that.
We already said that, yeah.
She said her take on it.
But you know what the thing is, that was her situation. She didn't need to date multiple people.
It worked for her. However, and it just depends on how you date, but I'm like, I'm okay having the men's, and having something to do.
Question. Okay. To Libra. Now, I love Jesus. I do. But I'm just saying, I understand that, horoscopes is real. I'm not saying I live my life like a horoscope. I don't be like, oh, I got to wear blue today because it's my power color. I'm not doing that. Or saying today will be the day I meet somebody. I don't care about that. But I do think that there's a lot of things that are coincidence. Like, okay, cool. So with that being said, and you said that you meet people where you used to in the past, meet them and be like, oh my God, this is it. Oh my God, this is it. Because that was what we wanted. I mean, you did that because that's what you wanted, right? So if that's what you wanted or whatever, how were you able to just like cut it off and just stop doing it? Because if that's how you were, like, I mean, was it with the therapist? It had to do your work. Yeah.
The therapist breaking it down and saying that, it's a social experiment. It is a social experiment. And you every guy is not for you. And that's okay.
No, they're not.
It's not. And it's okay for you to weed it out and for you to ask tough questions in the beginning. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
It's my time. Mm-hmm. I actually err on the side of you meeting my friends and family sooner rather than later. I'm not gonna fall for your ass and then it's my family and they be like, oh, he a full fraud, because they have a different perspective. No, I'm not gonna introduce you to my kids, but you can roll up and meet my mom because Vernita will let you know. She be like, oh, no, I don't like him.
Something ain't wrong with his spirit.
So, Tanya, you're right. Like his spirit is not right. It's not
right. You already know. Our parents, honey, they stayed in the prayer room.
That's our mothers. By the way, guys, all of our mothers are like that. They stay in the prayer.
Prayer warriors, honey.
Cherie mama like that too. They
prayer
stay
warriors.
in the prayer. Like, okay, they actually have saved us with their prayers. So, that's just.
Oh, my mom is the reason Lalo and I are together. She is the reason.
So speak on that. Speak on that.
She's right.
When I broke up with the guy, which for something trivial, this is very important. It was trivial to him, but it was very important to me. And I was not going to, because I know you got to know what you bring to a situation. Like, I know I can cook. I know a man would be lucky to have me. Like I feel like that. I feel like, I feel like I'm that chick, and I'm not trying to be egotistical. Of course, I got flaws. I just feel like I bring a lot of great stuff to the table. So one of the things that was important to me is I want a guy to open doors for me.
Oh, Lord.
Okay,
Maggie.
Maggie.
Shawty he refused to open doors. And I said, okay, let me see if I'm just being like, yes, Tanya, that face. I said, let me see if I'm just being like trivial about this. Cause I kind of polled a couple people and they was like, you got pretty girl syndrome. I'm like, no, I feel like I do a lot. Like, I feel like I bring a lot of value.
They don't know you. It's cool.
It's not about the actual opening of the doors. It's something more than that. To me, it meant a taking care of. Like, he's not gonna let me carry heavy bags. He's always looking out for me. I always feel safe with Lalo. I feel like he got my back. He gonna roll up. He not let me, like, he was out shoveling stuff today. He ain't let me do no heavy lifting. I know, and I'm okay to take my place. As Black women, I feel like we got to carry a lot. I was a single mom. I don't want to carry that shit no more. I don't want to have all them bags. I would gladly take the bags away from me, but I gotta trust you to give them to you. And so
you gotta say that again.
Yes,
say that again.
Yes, Kendall, I'm with you on that, girl. Again.
I want her to take the bags, Jesus.
I want you to
take you.
Thank you.
But can we develop the trust that you gonna take, and you gonna do what's right with them?
Gotcha.
There's no judgment, anything that come with it's a care that's involved.
Preach.
So he would not bend on that. That's why we broke up.
Wow.
On paper, we made sense. That part, I said, I will not, because it's gonna build resentment. Because while I'm out here being a dope as fuck partner to you, and you won't open the door for me, nah, you might get stabbed.
Did you ever give him little clues? Like, did you stand in? Because my dad, whenever I'm with him, like if I try to open the door, Maggie's dad do that y'all too. He'll be like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" So I'll stand in front of the door and wait, and then he said, "That's what you're supposed to." You never did that?
Oh, I just flat out tell you, I'm gonna need, I don't like.
And they cannot read minds.
No, but if I'm standing in front of the door and I'm like this,
open the door.
No,
and maybe they don't know. Maybe
I mean,
side man, open the door. Look,
but I mean, most of the time, a lot of these guys will be like this. What you waiting on? Okay, then I'll already know.
And I know you're not the one, because I don't need to train.
Right.
I'm not about to train. I'm not about to train or raise up no man. That's not. I'm not doing it.
I just want to know. You be standing in front. I do that all the time. But okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big clue dropper. I'm very, very. I think I'm more like keeping it real goes wrong. Like people are like, all right, I get it. You don't gotta tell me everything. I'm like, but I'm not gonna, so I don't want to leave anything up to like you assuming or you had to guess, like, because that's just gonna get everybody jacked up. So me and that guy broke up. I started talking back to Lalo. He invited me on a trip that he had won to Dominican Republic. I was like, oh, okay, bet. And then I mean, he had somebody going with him. Yeah, but
he came back with a. He came with it. Talking about you want
to go honey, hit you with the trip quick.
Oh wow.
He hit me with that trip. I said, this is gonna be the best trip of your life. Woo!
Yes.
And then I went to go see him. All this is long distance. So then before the trip was in February. I went to go see him up north in January. We hit it off then. It was great. We went on a trip. That was really great. I mean, I fell in love with him on that trip. That was Valentine's Day. Like, and I wasn't
Speaking of, it's Valentine's. It's coming up. That's why I have my heart cup. Yes, I love it.
I have my red box matching. Okay.
I love it.
Okay, so saw him in January, went on the trip in February. How long did y'all date long distance after that?
Timeline.
We did not. Yeah, I know all those faces. We did not.
What?
Because I did not. He has kids. I had kids. I'm like, he was asking me, do I want to make it like official on the plane or go out with him? And I was just like, we can't. It's not like, why kid ourselves? It's not gonna work like that. Wow. I will just be setting ourselves up. And so I'm like, yo, but we could be travel buddies. We can do whatever. Like, I felt it too.
So wait a minute. You shot him down twice. Not once, but twice.
Girl, wow. I was in nigga.
Yeah, you was nigga. Yeah. You was being that, okay?
I was. And you know
Forky.
Forky. Yes.
I was not. Let's be truthful, okay? I was not ready. I was not ready to settle down. I will say that I still belong to the streets. And I was still kind of like, I wasn't ready. Like I hadn't, I was still experiencing my freedom. But I respected him so much. I didn't because I could have said yes, but still had those urges to be out. And I didn't want to do that because distance would make that very difficult to do that. And I knew I wasn't ready for that. Right. And so, but he never left my mind. Anybody that I went out, I always compared them to him. And my mom would always be like, I mean, have you heard from Jersey? Where's Jersey?
They call me.
I don't know about y'all, but we give all our dudes nicknames. Okay?
Of course.
Pause right there. Because we just last night, we were just on the phone. And I was like, and I was like this. I told you, everybody has code names, baby. You hear me? All of them have code names / nicknames.
They will never know.
We never had. We were like, we needed a name for like the ones who we like just met.
Yes.
And Vicky was like, oh girl, newbie.
Yes.
They want to get an official name until, you know.
But you know what? Those
while.
ones sometimes may have characteristics. So I have a homegirl where the guy that she's talking to right now, he, you know, has hit her off with a little bit of poetry. And so his nickname is Def Poetry Jam. So we call
that's a good one. That's a good one.
We got him, girl.
That's a good one.
But you know what? Let me tell you, these good ones though, they be having. I call it. What rating is this show? Who's the audience?
Let me tell. Okay, let me just say this.
Facebook.
Let me tell you something. Let me just tell you this. we not ratchet, but we're transparent.
Okay.
So if transparency brings out that in you, you be true to who you are, because that's all we want people to be true to who you are. Now we don't be disrespectful to nobody, but you know.
I'm not.
I know you're not.
Bash nobody, but
I'm not gonna bash. I'm just talking about. I call it LDE, little dick energy. Okay, that's what. So you may have some guys just gonna say LDE. That may be the perfect situation. But and that might not be important to some people, but to me that's important. And so I met those guys, and I'm like, you know, they come off, they got whatever it is that you checking off boxes, you know, the ego, whatever. You're like, okay, you might be about something. They got a little LDE energy going on, you know. So I'm mindful of that.
It's an energy.
It's an energy. I take it now, girl. I'm like attractor being. Ooh. Ain't gonna get me caught up. Ain't gonna catch me slipping. So there goes that. But I don't know if that's the case with DPJ.
See, she gets acronyms. Okay, got it. All right.
Mm-hmm. So long story short, met Lalo again at another convention, and he was just my friend. I like went to go meet him in Atlanta, you know, like downtown, whatever, like that. And I walked up to him on the street, and all intents and purposes, I'm gonna dap him up. We just started making out on the street. I was like, oh God, like I don't do that with my friends.
You showing up, don't.
I don't.
It's showing up, honey.
And it just turned everything. And then my mom, she just told me, she was like, yo, like, why don't you just give it a shot? And I was just like, Mom, oh my God, he's so far away. She's like, listen, what if you saw him? This is a good question. She asked me, she said, if you saw him on social media and he got somebody else and snatched him up. I was like, oh, I gotta go cut her. I gotta cut her. Like I gotta knife her, you know? And she's like, it sounds like you need to go get your man. So I called him up. I asked him out. I was like, yo, I know you feel it. I feel it too. Like, I just feel like maybe we should try this, you know, and just see what can happen. I feel like I do not want to go this life without actually exploring whether or not if this can be a thing. Right. Let me tell you what he said to me. He said, give me 24 hours. Woo! Now,
I mean, after all them rejects, you done put.
I mean, you understand?
Okay.
Rejection.
You get the man 24.
No, or did he already know? Did he already know? And he was like, I gotta end something with somebody I'm talking to?
No, he said that he thought that I was playing, like how I had heard him before.
Exactly. Exactly. Twice. So
I had to check my ego.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's 24 hours. I was like, ooh, man.
Follow that pill.
You know what we do, honey?
That feels like a little rejection.
Right. Who is he talking to? Oh, you know, I was like, I'm like, who is the hoe? You know, I just seen you. Who is this hoe? You know, so and then the 24 hours later, do you know I had to call him? He didn't call me. He out here playing games.
There go that again.
But you know what?
He had to take back control. That's what he did.
That's right, Tanya.
And that was so sexy that he did, like, because he didn't let me walk all over him, and he just showed like, that's no, right. He knew his worth too. That was so sexy. Yes. And we had a conversation. We said, yeah. So we started dating. Mm-hmm. We dated. When he came down to Atlanta a couple of weeks later. He proposed to me when he came down.
Excuse me. Okay, stop right there. How long did it take we already know about the rejection 1 and 2. Then, so this last time when he said 24 hours, how long was that span before you actually made it official to be like, I want to be with you? And then he said, oh, let's get married.
Are we talking about like within a year's time span?
Yeah, was it 6 months? Was it? Yeah.
No, like I went on a trip with him in February 14th, like the whole fell in love thing.
Yes.
The convention where we made out on the street was in July. Like, so February to July, this is all like 2018, 2019, no, 2019. Okay. So yeah, 2019, February to July 2019. And then he came to Atlanta like in August, proposed to me. And it wasn't like this dramatic, oh my God, we should be. He was just like, yo, what would you say if I asked you to marry me? And I'm like, I'd be like, yeah, sure. Like, we should do it. He's like, okay, bet. And I'm like, okay. And that was it. I was like, all right, cool. Yeah. And so I had already, I skipped the part. I had met his kids and his family when I was up here in January. I thought that was really big of him. And I saw a lot, by the way, when I met them. I saw the dynamic that he had with his family. I could tell that they loved him. I could tell that he went front with his kids, like, come over here, give me a hug. And they're like, I don't even know you like that. You know, like, you know, stop friends with his new girl. Like, it wasn't, and I got along really well with the children too. Good. So that was really good. But
you're easy to get along with though.
I'm a big kid. So
you are. So I said you're easy to get along with. Yeah.
Thanks. So it took us 6 weeks to get married, and we ran off the boat. You know what? I think because when you just know, you know. I feel like Erneve said that last week, which is funny because Victoria, Libras, we know with everyone. You know,
we do. We be like, oh man, yeah.
I had to cut it off though. To be honest, Lalo did not meet some of the qualifications that I had, and I had to let that go. I had to let go and let God, basically, because.
That's right, girl.
My mom had to remind me that even though he didn't meet certain criteria that I had in my mind, he met all the ones that really mattered to me. And I'm so grateful that we all kind of go through rebellious phases with our parents sometimes, right? We're just like, oh my God, like, let me live my life or whatever. And
yes.
I'm so very grateful that I actually like listened to her, because it's just impacted so much in my life. Like, when I tell you, I feel like, I don't know, does anyone watch Game of Thrones on here?
I tried, girl. I fell asleep. I'm sorry. I fell asleep. My bad.
It's okay. But I looked at it. This is marriage. And I think it's really important. This is my view of marriage. I think it's really important that we throw out the delusions that society gives us. You know, like social media is really bad with this. Like, I see a lot of women focusing on the ring. When he proposed to me, we didn't have a ring. We literally just got rings. We bought them from a vendor on the side of the road in Arizona. We didn't have like some big elaborate wedding day. Everything has been intimate and true to us, you know, and not for anybody else. Because my saying is that you can't live two lives for the price of one. So I got to do me. My family, my friends, they have to do them. I take in what you might have to say. But ultimately, I have to live my life and be okay with the choices. And I'm completely okay with the choices that I made with him. It was a big decision to move up here, you know.
Okay. So you did. Okay. That's another question. Okay.
Victoria, real quick, before we go to that next question, just a few comments from the chat.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Aaron was like, 24 hours to clean things up. He had you call him because now it shows that you actually wanted him.
Go tell it, Coach Aaron. Shout out to Coach.
He was on the show. Shout out
to Coach Aaron. Yes. And plus, he was Cathedral too. Go ahead.
Then Coach Aaron said, "Yep, you know when you know." So he was giving credence to, I guess y'all know when you know, and we'll know when we. Sophia said, "I think a man knows right away in the first 6 months."
Absolutely, Sophia.
Right. Sophia from Cathedral too. Shout out, Sophia. How you doing? Oh wow.
I'm sorry. Go ahead with your question, but I just wanted to acknowledge the chat and everybody. And Brian, means I don't know what comment you were saying.
Right. Because they trying to figure out what LDE is, but it's cool. So I'm gonna say,
I gotta repeat that.
Well, put it in the chat.
Yeah, we're gonna leave that in the chat. The grown up shirt. They'll figure it out. And once they go on Urban Dictionary, like, what's LDE?
What is it?
They'll figure it out. So my question was, so you moved to Jersey. He didn't move to, okay, what was the decision that said, oh, I should move to be with him and him not come down?
That was the tea. That was the tea.
I just want to know.
First off, I was putting together a whole PowerPoint presentation on the reasons that he should move to Atlanta. Okay, that is okay. I'm like, if you look here, our school, we get more, house for the money. Mm-hmm. Yes, and transitions and everything. Hello. But yeah, what ended up happening is, oh God, I forgot to mention this part. So the guy I was seeing that was local before Lalo, mm-hmm. he ended up purchasing a house and let me rent the house out for him. It was an income property. Okay. Like, so I rented the home from him, and then we broke up. So I'm still like tied to the lease or whatever like that. So then prior to all this stuff with Lalo, I was having a conversation with him about purchasing the home, like a lease purchase and all this stuff like this. Shotty ended up, because he used to use the room as it was a 5-bedroom house. So it had a bedroom downstairs and a full bath. And he was like, yo, I just sold my house and I'm going to come move in that house. The house I was living in. That face, Maggie. And I'm like, all this, it was so much. So that nobody knew. Like, we ran off and got married in secret. Like, nobody knew that we did that. And when I married him, I flew up to New York and then flew back down to Georgia. So we were married and we gave ourselves 6 months to figure out how we were going to live together. We said, all right, well, we'll just keep coming back and forth, because I just knew that that was what I wanted. We really manifested everything that happened, even though it was stressful. I was living with my ex, basically. Like, my ex was downstairs. I had to come out and tell him, like, yo, I got married. And he's like, oh, wow, congratulations. This is awkward, And so it was an awkward situation, but that pushed everything, that propelled everything forward for like, well, it doesn't make sense, because it would have been so much more for me to like go out, get a whole new house in Georgia, blah, blah, blah. I was like, you know what? He already got a place. I'll just move in with the place for him up north. So that's what happened when we coming up north. I was supposed to buy the house that I was in. That just turned into a shit show. And then I ended up moving up here. That's the decision I ever made.
See, so you were open to letting go of the familiarity of being in Atlanta. I mean, because that's where your friends are, your family is, most everybody. And you get ready to go to Jersey, where it's, it's quite cold. The people are as well. They cold too. It's just a lot. They different. They different.
They're just unhappy. Jesus.
They probably would say the same thing about we so fake. They'll probably say that we're fake.
That's bless your heart. Bless your heart. They know what I mean.
That's what I'm saying. They be like, "Oh, you fake. Y'all are fake in Atlanta." Well, Atlanta's different from what we grew up around, so I don't know who you met. So okay, but
right. And the real quick question came out. Wow, did your husband know that you were living with your ex?
Right, because
Absolutely. One thing I can say is that we've always had transparency. That is, I mean, first off, I think Serena put this on her page, where if you're playing roles, if someone's playing a role in a relationship, like being someone that they're not, at some point they're bound to forget their lines. And I've experienced that where people are fake, and I'm like, no, we need to like 100% transparency, whether it hurts or not. We call them like gloves off conversations, and it's not a comfortable conversation. I'm like, yo, I don't like it, but I think me letting him know in a man, don't you think that do something? Oh, hell no, I gotta go get my woman. When I tell you this man, that's the other thing too. This is the same man that wasn't opening the doors for me. I told Lalo that, and Lalo was like, how he's crazy. What man wouldn't love to have the opportunity to open a door for you? Like yeah, you're too good for him. He was telling me that while we were friends, and so I'm just like, yeah, I mean, I don't know, we'll see. Like, other things are kind of, I don't know if I'm just being flaky, but I wasn't being true to myself. And he always saw that. So to answer whoever asked that question, I'm always, whether it's good, bad, ugly, I'm going to be very transparent. And if you're transparent with the bad, then you got to be transparent with the good. Like, he just got his haircut. He came home looking like a snack. I said, "Ooh, he trying to impregnate me."
Oh my God.
Why you looking all good? You got to like, and know his love language. That might not be your man love language. We started that off at the beginning. I think Ernie mentioned this, because we were in a long distance relationship, we had to build a friendship first. That was a plus. I think it was a plus that I had to move away from my environment and leave and cleave and create a different dynamic from what I've known. And that gave us an opportunity to grow closer together and build a foundation together. Because if you really think about it, we've only been together for 6 weeks. We've only dated for 6 weeks. We never even lived together. And we connected, really great on a lot of ways. But the only way is just really through having constant communication about, what our expectations are, and not having these delusions of what, like, I know how much money we make, so don't come here like, I'm gonna need a 6-carat ring, okay? Because I got.
We don't care about that. That's not our group. We don't care about that.
Yeah, the people who are listening, this might speak to somebody's spirit that you will get what you want, because you out here trying to stunt for something else, and you really got to do you. For me, our values totally align, where the money is important. I'm not saying that it's not, but it's not so that I could buy my happiness through things. That's not a value to me. I don't like all these young influencers like, oh, he got me a Birkin bag. I don't care about that. Like I just never been that way. Let's go buy some property or something together. Let's build something great that's gonna last for like forever. Let's invest in our children. Like that's where the value to me, going back to your point, Maggie, is really important to me. So he had all of that, and I was just excited to move up here. Girl, he came and snatched me from old boy.
Okay.
Well, first of all, I know he's already a different kind of guy, because these guys around here in these parts, zone 6, whatever, in Atlanta, they're not living with no dude and he downstairs. Ain't happening.
No.
So for him to be so patient.
It was never about that guy. It was always about me. He had to really trust me and know me. It was about like really the foundation. And he knew that I didn't want to be in that situation. Like that was an uncomfortable situation for me as well. Like I didn't ask for it. He literally sprung that on me that I sold my house and in 30 days I'll be moving in this house. And I went and talked to attorneys and everything like that. But to be quite honest, that clock was ticking on that 30 days. When he said that, Lalo ass got into motion. Like that 6 months turned into 45 days. I spent probably 2 weeks more in that house than like when he moved into 30 days. Cause let me tell you, baby, Shawty flew down here, got a truck, and he drove up. He said, no wife of mine. So he moved me in the rain. Beautiful. His dad came out and unpacked everything, and he's just a solid dude, man. He's a solid dude. I would want my daughters to marry someone like him. So.
Okay. So, we're done talking about your last marriages, but just real quick. So the other ones.
Oh, you can talk about it because they taught me all the shit I'm doing in this one.
Hello? Okay, great. That's what I was gonna ask. I mean, it don't matter about you, really, I'm saying. Shout out to who y'all are, because we know you. Shout out. But what I'm saying is, like, did you have to reinvent yourself?
Did I? It's so weird to say lost, because that it has a different weight. So I would like to view it in the point of being maybe like a snake and shedding layers of skin. So one of the layers that I had or identity that I had was I was a wife. So then when Jeremiah and I broke up, I'm not that anymore. And then I was a business owner, and then I'm a mom, and very involved mom. I don't know if you guys know, went through custody battle and everything. So then I didn't have my kids no more. So that was really, really difficult for me. And then so that's a whole, like, that's 2 different identities. I'm re-identifying myself. At first it's like, I'm a wife, not no more. I'm just a single mom and a business owner. Then I go through the custody battle and it's like, oh, not a wife, not a single mom anymore. Now I'm just a business owner. And then I'm like, I can't do this shit. And then I gave up the business, and now I literally took some time, tying it to your point, to heal. Even though I would go out and things of that nature, like every once in a while I would go out with my friends or whatever. I would also take pictures as staging pictures, so it make it look like I'm one place, but really taking you ladies to the game. If you're out there dating multiple guys,
people do that all the time. They flex and
feel like enjoying the night at home, going out at Topgolf, okay, on a date. Anyway. But I'm just saying, but
you're single though, so it don't matter.
What you gotta do, girl?
Because they're doing it too. Until you find the one where you got to do that with, and you're just like, yo, I think that you're cool. I'm still keeping my sidelines just in case, but you know, you cool and put some energy into this. But to the point where I am reinventing myself and healing, I realized that when I was having intercourse, I'm gonna get real with people for a little bit, but I was sleeping with guys, I found no value in it. I was just like, this is not serving me. It's not. Like, I would do it and I'd be like, it's okay. They definitely get more enjoyment out of it. And I'm like, I feel like I should stop. And I did. I became celibate. And some might say selectively celibate because, you know, Lala was talking. I was like, you know, because he just
right. But they stick up in the chat box.
He had a beard shaped up just right. But no, I did become celibate because that was part of the healing part. Man, I don't know if you guys have read Think and Grow Rich, but there's a chapter about sexual transmutation that talks about the power that comes from withholding or abstaining from sex and intercourse. And I really felt that. Like, I just got really deep into myself, yoga, running, like more into my health. I started to focus, like I knew I was getting used to being single. And I was like, ooh, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to be used to being single. I need to start to envision myself like I like being married. So I want to envision myself being married. So I'm living in this big ass still. So I cleaned out my closet. I gave away a bunch of clothes to Goodwill. I gave a bunch of clothes to this young lady that I work with at work, cleaned out my closet. I had a double vanity. So I cleaned out the double vanity, you know, because I was using up all the size. It's like when you have a big purse, you may not have a bunch of shit, you know, that can fit, but you just put stuff in it. And so I had to clean all of that out. And then I started to, it may sound crazy, but I would envision myself having a conversation with my husband, not Lalo, but whoever God saw fit to put in my life, have conversation with him like, I'm getting ready in the morning, like, oh yeah, you know, just looking over.
You're not crazy. You're not crazy.
Bro, that's what you gotta do.
I know I'm not crazy either because I do that too. Now, I'm an actor, whatever, but I do that too.
Yeah, I think it's really important. It's very important. And I saw it so clear, and I didn't know who it was, but I just knew, like, I saw when I was in the shower, I would envision like me singing in the shower and him being so excited, like bopping to like, oh shit, you're playing them hits, you know, in the shower. I was like, ah. And that's what happened, you know, or just he's into the same things that I'm in. Like the fact that we have full concerts when we're singing in the car together. Like
I seen your video, so yep.
Yeah, like I'm like, and it's just fun. And I wanted someone, he checked off all the lists. There is someone out here. Let me say this to you guys, and it may be me prophesying, but I do feel like how we pray and, you know, really manifest that individual. I knew that whoever it was that I was supposed to get, I knew that they were manifesting me too. And our paths just haven't crossed yet. I knew that they wanted someone that was me. I wasn't going to have to change, bend, fold to things that were not comfortable, not comfortable, but in a way that wasn't my path. Because we all gonna have to go through some shit where we're changing and things, different dynamics. But I was excited about the fact that I know he there, and I don't know when we meet or when our cross paths, our
hello,
or if they had already crossed, and if we, you know, got to get back together. But now we are together,
Maggie.
Oh, it's real. Now that we are together, we talk about the fact that when we die, I want to see how he was as a, like, our lives just literally, you know, side by side, how the different things, because our birthdays are 4 days apart, same year.
Wow.
He's the 24th, September 24th, I'm September 28th, and we got married on the 26th. So we met in the middle. That's a whole different, so how we got married.
4, 6, oh my gosh. Okay.
All Libras, girl, Libra gang.
Hello. I'm like, okay, got it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Okay.
Well, see, that's a whole nother one too, because we talk about, like, we haven't talked about on the show, but like dating the same signs. Like, we'll talk about that another time. I think I appreciate you saying that, because I think that everybody, you as well as our niece, said the same thing about it's intentional. Like, you have to draw your intentions to be like, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to do that. And if that means that I'm going to talk to you over there, give me something to eat real quick, whatever that means, that's a way of intentional. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm intentionally bringing you into my space.
Absolutely.
So
yep. And Miranda,
what's she saying?
I was just gonna say, Miranda.
Oh, it's breaking up.
Miranda in the chat said, manifestation does not sound crazy. to Kendall's point. You were manifesting where you're manifesting. I know somebody said, set 2 placemats for dinner when you're eating at the dinner table. Don't just manifest.
Yes, it's true. It's true.
That's
okay. Let me ask you this real quick.
Nah, that's crazy. But Coach Aaron, we're not listening to you right now.
What he said?
He said, nah, that's crazy.
It's crazy.
Okay, whatever.
It ain't crazy because he met his wife on a kiss and a cake.
Right.
Okay.
Right. With the cake and the kiss.
Hello.
So that was on the episode. Tune in to see that one about the cake and the kiss. Okay, Coach Aaron.
Look, Lauren Anderson said that he proposed to his wife.
Oh, LJ. Hey, LJ.
What's up?
Hello, brother.
Look, so we got love quick out here in these streets. People when men know, I guess they know.
Men, no, my husband, I'm telling you, guys need to get him on here because he is so wise when he comes.
Oh, he gonna come.
Yeah.
We're gonna come with the fellas.
Yep, it's gonna be the men. We're gonna ask for the men, the married men.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, question. Let me ask you this. Just curious. In this dating realm, what do you think about texting versus calling?
Woo, I heard this. Now, because my daughters is grown now. Okay.
Hello and beautiful. Beautiful.
Right.
Girl,
Shed a little nugget for them.
we need a little nugget.
Give them a little nugget.
Because they don't be listening to this game their mom's spitting. Like
because it's from you.
I'm telling you, I didn't go through all this just for y'all to be like, throw the game away. You know what I'm saying? What you do? So no, they be having serious conversations via text message. I'm gonna need because let me tell you why text messaging ain't it. Because I'm reading it in my voice. I'm not reading it in your tone and how you are meant to deliver it. So leaving that up to my interpretation, let me tell you, fellas, that's bad. You do not want to do that. You don't know if I'm hangry like Tanya. Okay. Yep. You don't know. Tanya, go get your sandwich. Okay. You don't know what mood or state that I'm in when I'm receiving your text message. So I don't think that's a good idea for things that can just be real quick, like, hey, in a meeting, blah, blah, catch it. But no, I'm gonna need you to talk to me like an adult. I'm gonna need us to have adult conversations. I'm gonna need us to FaceTime. There are no appointments. I don't need to make an appointment with your ass to FaceTime. If we have committed, I don't. I need to be able to FaceTime you at work, when you off work, when you at the gym. I don't need to. There needs to be nothing left, and there should be full transparency. If you're not doing nothing slick, like, let's think about it. Because when I was in these streets, I know all the tactics. Okay, I know the tactics. I'm not sharing my location. I'm not doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, oh yeah, I know I'm about that life. But when you're not no more, then you should be open. You ain't gotta lock your phone. You ain't gotta do nothing because you already know. Like, I know what I'm bringing. So that's a whole different subject. But definitely calling. Do not just be texting me all day. That's not gonna happen.
What's the purpose? I'm like, the texting and calling, I feel like that happens when you're younger, but when you get older, and even like you said, it only takes 2 seconds to be like, hey, I was just thinking about you real quick. I gotta go do blah, blah, blah. That's it. But
y'all have mature energy though. Vicky, Tanya, Maggie, Cherie, all y'all have very mature energy. So y'all need to be dating guys in their 40s. Like,
you know.
I didn't luck up. Let me tell you, because Lalo is the same age as me, but he has an old soul. Jeremiah, old soul. Everybody ain't like that though. A lot of guys that I wasn't attracted to, like the younger men. I like a guy that got a little bit of swag. He didn't got a couple of war stories. Life then taught him a little bit. That shit is sexy. Got a little bit of salt and pepper.
Experience.
It is. So everybody listen to what she said, guys. Okay, if you're watching.
Oh, we love this, Marquis. I mean, Kendall. Oh, Jesus.
You can call me my government name.
I'm just saying.
Marquis, I'm sorry, child.
His mama named him Cassius.
But
I'm gonna call him Cassius.
Yeah, you better say, yep. Your mama call you that. I'm gonna call you that. Sorry, I didn't know. Did your mother call you Kendall? Exactly. We're calling Marquis.
No. I mean, now to my friends and stuff like that that I know in business, so she won't mix it up.
Right.
She'll call him Kendall, but like to Lala, she Marquita. I'm like,
sorry.
You killing me, Bernita? You killing me, Bernita? You taking away my phone?
Well, let me say this to you, Marquita. Oh, sorry. Let me say this to you.
You can call me Marquita. It's okay.
Let me say this to you.
They know.
One thing about you if you know people who are watching it who don't have the pleasure of knowing her, but you know her now, that you have so much joy.
Yes.
You understand? Happiness is different from joy. You have so much joy every time girl, you have the jokes for days. You're very, very funny. You're very charismatic. You're loving. You're open, which I love, because sometimes when women go through what you've gone through, they close it down. And they don't want to tell you, you know, well, actually, I'm in love, you know, that's what you need to know. How we good? When I'm like, your husband, I saw him on the corner with someone else. You know what I mean? Like, I think I appreciate the fact that you're very, very open and honest.
Girl,
so I was praying, I was like, please let Kendal come on here and be Marquita.
Yes. Well, I appreciate that. I really would like to say that I think it's the foundation of where we came from, the cathedral, that taught us to be charismatic, to be performers, you know, like as a mother now, I would like go to my children's plays and stuff, and I'm like, who is running this operation? Like, these children are smart, you know,
girl.
You ain't lying.
We always talk about that.
Where's Pastor Clarice?
Hello, excellence. You hear me? And it will never, and it's never going to ever be redone anywhere else. You understand?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So I really want to give a shout out to like our foundation coming from that. Yes. And I do feel like that was a special moment in time. Even when I go like look at different praise and worship, it is something about the energy that was in that praise. I know there's a lot going on, but I just feel like it created a bond. That was my family, yo. Like my family is in Chicago. You guys were my family in Atlanta, and for that was a really big deal to me. The basketball games, that's like, you know, joining each other, blessing like that. That was such a huge part of our childhood. I lived for all the performances and everything that we did together, and watching you beautiful ladies grow up. And I think the joy comes from that, having that solid foundation. We passed on. It's arts for me. I get happy when I'm singing and dancing and laughing and like all that stuff. If I only sing and dance a lot around the house because I have to like doing shit I don't like to do. Like I don't really care. So I'm gonna turn on Deborah Cox while I clean, and like it's crazy. Everybody's like, I mean, I guess we gotta hear her sing or it's not gonna get clean. So thank you. And I feel like we all share that same energy, and be true to that. Like literally, I think the best thing that I can tell you guys is to be true to who you are. You ladies are so beautiful, and don't let no fuckboy come and be like, well, what you won't do, another girl will. Guess what? I'm not for you then. I'm not, and I'm okay with that. I'm really okay with that.
I'm okay with that.
Not for you. You've been talking about being okay.
Yep, I'm okay with that.
You know, okay, we're moving on.
Yeah, but still maintain, like, continuously build value for yourself. And that doesn't mean in just throwing degrees and stuff on. That means in, I don't know, just staying true to who you are, just being really rich, shooting your shot. There's nothing wrong with that. Maggie, I know you on this. You going?
Oh, we got a little shooting your shot story.
Oh, Maggie, stay with the shots.
Okay. We got a little, right. So thank you, Kendal. So listen, we just gonna say this last little bit. So we all got a story. Maggie got a story. Tanya got a story. I got stuff. Yes, you do, Maggie. Okay, so no, what it is we were open. We listened to what you and Erneve had to say. We're open. So since we're open, it might be like, okay, well, I know for me, I know I shot my shot. It was small, but it's paying off. You know what I mean? He had something on there about the Celtics. I said, perfect. Because I was like, I don't love Shy. I don't know about that. So I said something about the Celtics. And he said, then automatically, then it started rolling. Great conversation. We're supposed to go out on Saturday. So we shall see. But, shout out to you. You and our knees said, shoot your shot. And it doesn't mean that I have to approach you and be like, look, I've been looking at you all day. So what you gonna do? You don't have to be that
maintain the class, ladies.
You understand?
You're gonna be going all these challenges where you're just twerking all over the place.
I ain't even on TikTok.
Okay, because your future man, don't want to have to do a Facebook scroll and search and see and all over the place in your little history. That's not what he wants. So I will say, you ladies always keep it classy. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I ain't even on no TikTok. Okay.
Right. Me either, but people keep telling me they're on it. Okay. I'm not on it.
Ain't my thing.
Tanya, didn't you have something going on where you have
I did. So I had a recent experience where I talked to somebody and in the midst of conversation, let me just make it real short and sweet. He was telling me he was going to pick up something. He was going to pick up some wine. And he was like, "What you doing the rest of the evening?" I was like, I'll be in the house, but I gotta go pick up these cakes. And then I was like, "You wouldn't happen to be going to this wine store?" And he was like, "Oh my gosh." And the wine store is right next to the cake store. So I was like, "Oh," and then I was like, "Okay." And I was like, "Well, not that, we stalking or anything, but, if you just happen to see me, it just is what it is. And we just happen to see each other." And this is all through communication, through messages. And he said, "Okay." And then I said, "Well, anyways, I don't know if I want to meet you anyway, because, I got a hoodie on and some chucks and some leggings." And he came right back. I kid you not. He was like, "From a male's perspective, that's how I want to see you."
Absolutely.
He was like, "If you looking fine," yes. He was like, "If you looking fine, just being regular," like he was like, "How I'm looking, like, I got on sweats and J's." And
we can only build on that, right? That's good.
Right. That's what he was saying. He was like, "I can't imagine how you look, when we go out on a date and, you all jazzed up, you would just be mind blowing." So I was like, "Okay, well, you either like it or you're not." You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. That, I guess that's just, I had to put in my head. That's just like if I was walking in the store, you're like, "Damn, she look good." Trying to shoot your shot. So I was like, okay. So long story short, he ended up calling me and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm leaving out the cake place. I'm in my car." And he was like, "Well, I'm about to pull up to the wine place." And I was like, "All right, just call me, when you get here, and I'll get in the car, get out the car." And I kid you not. Now this was like, it's been cold. Well, I don't know.
Did he have on the gray sweatpants, Tanya?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, all right.
He did have a little sweat fit though.
Man, let him know.
It wasn't gray, it was blue. Okay. So, make a long story short, girl, we stood outside, y'all. I kid you not. It was so great. We stood outside and I'll say it was like a meet and greet. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is like a man." Like a straight up man. So I was like, "Okay, God, you showing me that there are some real men out there that do know how to hold a conversation without me probing them, do know how to have real grown men characteristics and interests in things that I'm interested in, and a future mate, who know how to hold a conversation, just like basic interests, not like I feel like I'm questioning you or you questioning me and we just,
like,
going through it.
Going? Like,
just like real chemistry and just like common interests. I'm intrigued. Okay, well, and then that leads to the next question. And girl, we stood out there for like 30, 40 minutes outside.
Girl, they be using big words, Jesus.
Yeah, 30 minutes. So I was like, okay, that was cool. And then I immediately called my girlfriend afterwards. I was like, "Girl, I just had amazing." And I was like, I can't even call it a date. It was just like a meet and greet, girl, a fun chance.
That's the best though. That's the best though. No pressure. Yeah. Don't it feel good to just be you? Like, I'm unapologetically me.
Right.
You get to see it. So now when y'all link up the next time and he see you with the red lips, you got the baby hair.
Girl, when
you didn't age a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So you're not going in attitudinal, with the meeting. So girl, it's gonna be on. Like, and just a snippet on that, when you were saying that, you don't think the guys out there right now, the quality guys that you're looking for, like, they tired of seeing the thoughts in Atlanta? They tired of seeing the girls that got the eyelashes? I'm not saying eyelashes are bad, but I'm talking about the eyelash that go all the way up.
It's drag race.
It's a little curl on the side, it's just hanging down.
Right.
It's too much. There are guys out there, like, they literally looking for us.
Yeah.
And so it's like you're drawing them to you. That conversation we had, Tanya, even if it's not him, you're drawing more people like that to you, more guys like that. It's a magnet.
Thank you.
Because you're starting to see it. They've always been there, but you're removing that filter, baby girl.
Preach, preach.
I accept it. I accept it, girl. I accept it. Thank you. And this show, thank you, Victoria, because this is constantly, you know, us having this show and having constant people on to hear their experience and to share their knowledge. I'm always looking to soak up the knowledge from what I want in a partner, what I really should be looking for. Like you said, I ain't looking for nothing fake. You know, society will tell you, you should have this and this and this and that by this age. And no, I'm on my own time. I'm doing what I need to do. I'm like you said, I'm trying to stay true to myself and what God has planned for me. And yeah, I can let it manifest and be talking.
And it will.
I put up a little stocking this year and said, honey, that's my husband. I tell my son all the time, are you praying for your, you know.
I want you guys to get it in your spirit, like really suddenly. It doesn't have to take forever.
Right.
Suddenly.
It
happens.
You know what you just did? That's Vicky Turner, baby. Suddenly. She do the claps and she do the suddenly.
You know,
that is my mama, girl.
My teacher, you know your mama. Amos Turner. But no, that's so true. It doesn't have to take, that's the society, I tell you, is drawn out. And like someone mentioned before, a man know in 6 months. Lalo knew in a few weeks.
He sure did.
I'm a married man.
A real man.
I ain't got a ring, but I tell you the thing about it is that what he saw in me, I think we needed each other. I was so broken. You ladies don't understand. Just for full transparency, like I think people know now that my second husband came out. Totally excited about, you know, him and the life that he's leaving and that he's being true to himself. I wasn't angry about him coming out, by the way. People are like, oh my God, how you didn't kill him? I love him. I loved him wholly. I love him. I love the history that we had together. To this day, I love him. It's not in love. I love that man is my family. So, and we have been through so much together. How dare me not wish for him to have an authentic life, even at the cost of me having to reinvent myself, which is a lot. It was a lot to take in. I grew so much from that. And I think that's what allowed me to be in this place that I am right now, because I'm able to, I love myself fully so that I can have a man just pour on that. I wasn't empty or half. He just adding to. I mean, he adding glitter and flowers and like, I mean, it's just beautiful. I mean, it's just beautiful. And I'm not saying that like every day is, you know, unicorns that fart glitter and jump over rainbows. Like we have, you know, we have our situations too, but it's something so deep. I really do feel like it's unconditional love, that when you're able to love someone wholly, because I see, and please remember this, a very dear mentor of mine taught me this, and I mentioned it before, but I really wanted to stay with you ladies, because it's so important as you move forward in your different relationships, not only loving relationships, not only like the intimacy part of it, but I'm talking about friendships, and as you forgive family members and people that you feel like have done you wrong, every single characteristic you can write down about them, I promise you somebody can say that about you. If you do that exercise and you say, well, what am I thinking about them? Well, they manipulated, they did this wrong to me and they lied to me. Well, who can say that you lied to them? Can someone ever say that you lied about that? Well, it was like this, but they probably had a reason too. So it causes you to forgive people on a different level and realize that you meet people where they are. I'm so happy for Jeremiah. I want Jeremiah to have the best, because we went to have on a baby. If he miserable, my son will be.
Right.
I don't want that, you know. So I just kind of feel like you wish people the best, and that's the only way that love really can come to you, and you just get more of it. You'll get more of those parking lot conversations, the parking lot pimping that Tanya did. You know, shoot a shot really with the Celtics and whatnot, and Maggie stay shooting a shot, you know. So I'm really excited for the next chapter, really, for you guys.
Yes.
I know we're trying to wrap up, But I'm gonna tell y'all one little tidbit about my story.
Because I needed to know, because Maggie, you was gonna get off.
Maggie.
I was gonna come back. Maggie's gonna hold
You know how I do. I'm like, let me fade to the background.
No. Go ahead.
Let's hear this story,
But
honey.
no, real quick. So, like you said,
Update.
Tanya, and I'm gonna take it real quick, but all the nuggets we've learned and we've grown, and to truly be open and not stuck on your past or past situations and people you've dealt with in the past. And so this person, I don't even think watches the show. I'm pretty sure they don't.
You can send it to him.
Whoever has watched a couple episodes, I told you the story about my dad, and I felt so embarrassed when one day I was leaving. My dad saw me in the parking lot about to get in the car with this dude, and the dude did not open the door for me. And my daddy was like, Magdalene, what is going on? Like, I was so embarrassed, right? Because my daddy has raised me like they need to open the door, all that. So anyway, to say all of that, I recently went on a date with someone that opened the door for me to get in. So, right, gentlemen. But when we got to the restaurant and I just got out, right? I opened the door like, I'm gonna get out the car. He said, let that be your last time you get out the car before me coming around to open the door. And I was like, oh, you opened it for me to get out. I learned quickly. I got you. And I was like, it's just amazing when you open yourself up to other things, what's out there, right? And it was just like, okay, Lord.
So many things that it feels good, doesn't it? It feels so good to be taken care of. Lalo orders my food, like he'll talk to the waiter for me or whatever, the waiter, waitress. And I always thought, I'm like, women's lib and all this stuff like that. It feels good. It feels good. I'm gonna sit back. I step up when I need to, or when I want to. He's never like, no, you can't, it's not like any kind of control where I'm scared and, blink once if you're not okay type situation. Like, no, he's just good. And I'm so glad that you'll find someone that is going to love you fully. And you get to like basically reciprocate that love. It feels so good. It feels so good. I can't wait for you guys to have it. I know y'all closing. Thank you so much for having me. I know I didn't talk so much.
But we love
it.
No,
we love it.
I can't end it when we're just so good and it's so much juice in it, in the conversation.
You gotta leave and wanting more.
You know what I'm saying? Because we're gonna come back to the fact that we're gonna be an update with these stories that we had,
I can't wait
being open to these men. So, and then like I said, I'm just so grateful for you.
Wait, though. I want to leave you with something with that, though.
Okay, let's go.
The stories with the men, how they are, but be okay if it's not them.
Amen.
Right.
Be okay. Don't have the connect. You like them. You like things. You like the fact, Tanya, that you was able to have that conversation. It may not be him, though. But like, I'm looking for a guy with that good conversation like that.
Yes.
He's going to roll up. Maggie, guy that's opening the doors, he said, let that be your last time. So that's what you want. It may not be him for all intents and purposes. Whatever happens. It may be someone that roll up, that you can't deal with. Wow. Victoria, the guy that's having a good conversation with you, Celtics, whatnot, y'all want to go to, you might see something on Saturday, but you're like, oh, Lord. And don't be afraid of a fixer-upper either, because that's good. If a guy like needs you to kind of update his swag, whatever, because he's going to like, love the fact that you're adding that value to him. You see what I'm saying? He's gonna love having you there. You don't want to walk into a situation where the guy house already put together. You're like, what bitch is this? It's nothing left for me to do. So you want to walk in where he got it together. He's not sleeping on a mattress on the floor, but he got some stuff, and you can come in and make a house a home. It's things like that. It's the intangibles. And so we can talk about that another time.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
We love you so much, guys. This has been such a great, I'm telling you, that whole cathedral connection, you hear me? It all comes back full circle. It's full circle. So I'm grateful.
My life so much. And like, seriously, the relationships with you guys, my kids are a product of cathedral. Like the husbands I had gave me all my children who are cathedral, and they went to cathedral. So it's really important. As cultish as it may be, in some respect, I still love it for the value that it provided. So
that's what I said. I wouldn't be me because we spent 6 days out of 7 at the church. I wouldn't.
Days, nights, and weekends.
Yeah, I would not be me if it wasn't for Cathedral. So
Right.
it's just true. It's just true. So shout out to the Parks. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, for the vision that they had to do that. That was big. If we think back to the time that they were in, that was a really big thing that they did and impacted the community. And I had to grow with that too. The love and the imperfection that was is a lot. But I'm saying, like, I'm not perfect. I do shit. We all do shit. So I mean, it's just kind of like, okay, great. But what's the good that came out of it? There's so much. I want to know, y'all.
That's how I feel.
You I think this is my favorite episode so far.
Who said this?
Said, "Oh, you were so good." So, honey, people is loving.
Guess what that means? That means you're coming back.
Oh, I'm telling y'all don't need me. Y'all need my husband. He's the one.
I told you we're gonna have him. I told you this. The couple, we're gonna have couples. I get it. So don't worry. But I'm just about to say, girl, you know I will ask. So, who said it was their favorite show?
Ashley, shout out to Ashley.
Oh, Ashley, hey girl, hey sis. Yeah, because I'm telling you, she's been very supportive, by the way, Ashley. Thank you.
Yeah. Y'all need some merch. What y'all waiting on? We
gotta get a brand first. I already put it out there for somebody who does our logo. We need a logo first for the merch. It's gonna be empty merch. But so it's gonna be empty. So it's like, okay, no, we need a little bit of, somebody. I've been talking to designers. Shout out if you're a good designer, let me know. Listen, guys, this is going to be a gift because we ain't got no money. But we'll shout you out.
Don't be claiming that, because I feel like this will be monetized. It's what the sisters need.
I felt it.
I feel like it'll be monetized, and it's just getting it out on a bigger platform. So really make that within the next 30 days to get the logo and to get that working for you. Lalo and I are actually in the process of making a YouTube channel ourselves for us and all of our children that we have. So yeah, I definitely feel like there's, and we can do it at the same time. I'll feature you and you guys feature me.
We work together, we grow together. Yeah. So you guys know what it is. Thank you guys so much for visiting with us. You gotta follow us on the page, The Waiting Game Chapter 35. Follow us on Instagram, you know what I'm saying? Then if you see us on YouTube, follow that too. Okay. Thank you so much, Marquita. I'm telling you, so I'm forever grateful to you. I thank you for that.
Guys, man. I
pray that there's blessings for your family. Your family, I'm telling you, you're gonna reap whatever you give it to us. So thank you guys, and we will see. You know what? Tune in next week to see what we're gonna have. Okay?
It's gonna be juicy.
Yeah. It is. Okay. Bye, y'all. Stay safe. Stay, still COVID out there, y'all. Stay safe. All right. Okay, bye.